She wasn't supposed to fall, but when the universe cast her out, I caught her with a promise. If the skies won't have you, then stay here, and I'll love you until you shine again. If this poem or tale stirred something in you, a memory, a dream, or a truth, our Ko-fi, Amazon, and Patreon links are in the description. Supports help us keep writing for you and for those you hold dear. The Star Who Forgot She Could Shine, a fairy tale love story created by jesuspacampara. In the quiet of the cosmos, where nebulae drifted like dreams and constellations whispered tales of old, a star fell. She wasn't supposed to. Stars don't fall after all. They blaze. They anchor galaxies. They pulse with purpose. But this star tumbled out of orbit. Her place in the grand design revoked by the forces she couldn't name. Was it a mistake, a judgment, or was it fate? Yongsun had once glowed proudly in the velvet sky, her light guiding wanderers and wayfarers, her warmth cradling distant planets, but something, perhaps a breath of loneliness, a quiet rebellion in her core, loosened her from the place in the firmament, and so she fell. The descent wasn't fire, it was sorrow. The wind didn't scream, it wept with her. She landed on a sleepy hill overlooking a quiet town. Her body now flesh and bone, her light dimmed. Around her, fireflies blinked like stars trying to speak her native tongue. The grass trembled beneath her arrival, unsure whether to worship or weep. She sat under the crooked trunk of an old tree, arms strapped around her knees, eyes wide with questions. The earth didn't answer. "Where am I?" she whispered. "What do I do when I am no longer meant to shine?" And that's when Jess found her. He wasn't looking for anything, especially not a fallen star. Just another quiet walk under the moonlight, thinking about grocery list, dreams he had postponed, songs he never finished writing. But when he saw her barefoot, trembling, her dark hair swept with stardust, her gaze in unfamiliar constellations, everything changed. He didn't ask where she came from. He just knelt beside her, offered his jacket, and said with a soft voice as midnight train, "You look like someone who used to belong somewhere else." She stared at him, uncertain, saying, "I did." He smiled, the kind that holds no pressure, no expectations. "Then maybe here isn't so bad. You could belong here. If the universe has thrown you away, let Earth be your haven." She didn't speak for a long time, until the wind carried the warmth of his sincerity through her chilled bones. "Why?" she asked. "Why would you take in a star that the sky no longer wants?" "Because I never wished for a star," he said, voice cracking slightly. "But now that you're here, I can't wish for anything else." In the weeks that followed, he taught her how to live as something softer than starlight, how to eat spicy noodles without burning her tongue, how to fold laundry with clumsy hands, how to sleep under a roof rather than a cosmos, how to hum a tune and get the note wrong and laugh about it. She in turn sang with a voice that stitched the night back together, danced barefoot on his porch as if gravity had never bound her. And he, oh Jess, he fell in love not with the starlight she used to be, but with the quiet glimmer she became beside him. Each night he sang her lullabies, not the kind made for children, but those made for souls lost in orbit. Songs like, "If you were never meant to fall, then maybe Earth was wrong too, but I'll make a place in this heart-shaped sky just wide enough for you." One night, beneath the glow of a harvest moon, She turned to him and asked, "Are you afraid I'll leave you one day? That I'll return to the sky or find something better?" Jess brushed her hair behind her ear. "If that would make you happy, then I'll be glad, even if it breaks you," Jess said even then. She kissed him long and slow, as if tracing the edges of promises made. "I have to go for a while. A month. The stars need an answer," she said. He didn't ask for details. He just held her hand tighter and whispered, "I'll wait." When she left, she wasn't far across the sky, just a shimmer in the wind, a scent of moonflower, a whisper against his cheek. Every night Jess lit a candle, and every night he prayed, "Let her remember the warmth of my hands. Let her find peace among her kind, even if it means losing me. Let her return whole, if not at all. But please, if she remembers only one thing, let it be this: she was loved here." Yongsun crossed galaxies, walked among her siblings, stars who never fell, pulsed with eternal light. They asked her why return to dirt and due immortality, and she smiled sad and sure. "Because he sang to me into remembering I was more than the shine. He gave me a reason to burn." They warned her, "Nothing is better than to shine above." She said, "You've never been held after crying. You wouldn't understand." And so on a night painted with comet trails and humming skies, she returned. She didn't fall this time. She chose to land. She found Jess still waiting, his hair a little longer, his eyes red from prayers and moon watching. He opened the door, not surprised, just smiling like a man who had counted stars for 30 nights and knew this one would return. "I told them," she said, "that nothing was better than your love. And on the hill where she first fell, they made their vows. He didn't marry a star. He married a woman who dared to fall, dared to find herself, and dared to return. And she didn't rise back to the sky. She built a home from his heartbeat instead." They were married on the same hill where she had fallen, beneath the twisted tree that had once been her cradle when the world was still unfamiliar and cold. The wind hushed for them that day. Even the clouds drifted away as if giving the sky back to the bride who once belonged to it. There were no golden arches or grand cathedrals, only the warmth of friends, the hush of the woods, and the sound of Jess's voice trembling with a vow he had rehearsed 1,000 nights in solitude. Yongsun wore no veil. She didn't need to. Her smile alone could blind the sun for a moment. "I was not meant to catch a star," he said, fingers brushing hers. "But if you chose to fall, and so I promise, for every day we live and every breath beyond, I'll make this earth your heaven." She kissed him softly, and in that single touch, the galaxies she had once belonged to let go. She was Earth's now, his. Their days were never loud, but always full. They built a small home nearby, one with the windows that faced the night sky, and the garden where she could sing to the flowers. Yongsun became many small things: a cook who always forgot the salt, a singer who turned lullabies into galaxies, a mother whose eyes still shimmered when the stars blinked. Jess held her every evening, as if afraid she'd disappear again, and every night, as they tucked in their children, one who loved to draw moons and another who swore she'd build rockets, Yongsun would say, "You know, the stars still call me." And Jess would ask, already knowing her answer, "I'll tell them I'm busy," she'd smile. "I'm racing constellations here." Years passed like dream sequences, gentle, golden, and sometimes too fast. There were times when she would stand beneath the stars, gaze upward in silence, and Jess would come to her without a word, slipping his fingers between hers. No fear, no jealousy, only understanding. "I'm not leaving," she would whisper. I just like to remember. In time, their children grew. They wrote songs of their mother's voice and poems about the man who loved the sky enough to let it stay. Their home grew quieter, but not lonelier. Jess and Yongsun grew older, not dimmer. They held hands even as their steps slowed, as laughter became something more sacred than spontaneous. And one winter evening, when the sky was velvet blue and their breaths danced like ghosts, they sat by the window wrapped in a blanket. "Do you think we did enough?" she asked, resting her head on his shoulder. Jess smiled. "We didn't have to. We just have to be. My light, me, your gravity." And in the quiet hours that followed, their breaths faded together, like a duet finding its final note. No one saw them leave. By the next season, 2 stars appeared in the sky side by side. When none had shone before, astronomers puzzled over it. Mythmakers whispered. Children pointed at the heavens and gave them names. The world called the constellation Cordis Astra, the heart among stars. But those who knew the story, those who had heard the lullabies and saw love lived so fiercely and gently on a quiet hill, they knew the truth. Jess and Yongsun had risen once more, not as myth, not as memory, but as stardust made eternal, the star who fell and the man who caught her. Together they shine, not above us but for us. As a monk of Jess and Yongsun. Yongsun, once I flew through the silent light, too distant to be seen, but your voice, a prayer in the night, made even stars convene. Jess, I never dreamed to catch the skies, nor dared to hold the flame, but you who wept through the galaxy, still called to me by name. Yongsun, they told me Earth was too far to dim, a place of dust and death, but I found warmth within your chest, your love became my breath. Jess, and I, whose hands had known just dirt, who never sought the sky, would trade my every mortal day to kiss your tears goodbye. Yongsun, a month I danced through starlit halls, heard silence in their song, but none could hum the way you did, where broken hearts belong. Jess, I sang to winds and closed my eyes, I dreamed of you each night, for even if you shone no more, you'd still be all my light. Yongsun, they said shine bright above again, but you were brighter still. I chose the ground where flowers grow, the hands that make me feel. Jess, and now you're home, no need to rise, you bloomed beside my chest. You are the dawn that I waited for, the peace I never guessed. Yongsun, then let this body made of flame be yours, through dusk and dew, for stars may gleam in countless skies, but none could burn like you. Jess, then stay with me, my fallen one, no throne could shine so wide, I'd rather walk through time with you than rule the stars with pride. Yongsun, so take my hand and sing once more that song beneath the tree. You love the girl who lost her place and gave the world to me. Jess, and I will love you endlessly, from dirt to galaxies. For stars may fall, but hearts like ours rise through eternity. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps me keep creating more poems and stories like this. And if you'd like to support me, feel free to stick around this channel. And if you want to support my one and only Yong, head over to Solarsido and show her some love too. Because everything I make is for her and those who believe in a love like this. Thank you.